Hi guys, welcome back to You've Got This. Today I'm going to tell you the 4 basic pots and pans that you need to stock your kitchen with. If you're just starting out, you might not have any and you're not sure what you really should be buying to equip your equipment. to equip your kitchen. There are 4 basic pieces of pots and pans that I've determined are the ones you're going to use the most commonly and are going to give you the most latitude. So for instance, you're going to want to start with a big stock pot with a lid. And these, if you get something that's nice and heavy duty that doesn't have plastic handles, you can also use it to roast in the oven. So if you're roasting meats or vegetables or something like that, you can take something that's completely metal or has an oven safe handle and lid and use it as an actual roasting pan. But a big stock pot like this is incredibly useful for making large batches of anything, whether it's soups, stews, you know, a whole bunch of corn on the cob, a big old batch of mashed potatoes, anything like that. You're going to want a large stock pot. That's number 1. Number 2, a saucepan. A saucepan is smaller. Obviously it's smaller, but it's handy because, you know, if you're cooking, you're going to be cooking multiple things, not just one. So maybe you're making some vegetables and a bunch of pasta in the big pot. But anyway, you know, something this size is perfect for things like reheating sauces or a soup, a can of soup, or making rice. So you're going to want something that's similar in size to this saucepan. And a lid is good. And then thirdly, you're going to need a skillet. And this is a skillet. A skillet is useful when you're sauteing up a bunch of vegetables or frying anything, essentially, making pancakes, making hash browns, something like that. When you're starting out, and if you only can get one skillet, you might want to consider getting a non-stick skillet. This is not non-stick, so consequently I end up having to use quite a bit of oil if I'm making something like hash browns. But in any event, any of the pots and pans that you get need to be as heavy duty as you can afford. Typically, the heavier dutier that they are, the more expensive they're going to be. But let me tell you that thrift stores and yard sales and you know, secondhand stores, things like that, are a wealth of supply, a wealth of cheap stuff, and that you can start collecting your stuff through. So, you know, you don't have to go out to a department store or order necessarily online an expensive set of pots and pans. Gather it. Maybe you have to start out with something that's not great when you're younger and save up for an expensive set later, or gradually accumulate them. Just know that it's essential to have a good heavy-duty set of these, and they last you a lifetime. It lasts you a lifetime and lasts multiple lifetimes. Like, there's no reason that my grandkids and great-grandkids wouldn't be able to use these. It took me until my 40s before I could afford this particular set. In the meantime, I made do with what I could gather. One of them even came from, I had a saucepan, I actually still have it. It's copper bottom. Guess where I found it? On a trash can in an alley when I was in college. I still have it. Somebody didn't want to throw it away. They knew it was still usable, and I needed it, so I've had it ever since then. But gradually accumulate them. Don't bust the bank going out and buying an expensive set and ramping up your credit card with debt, okay? Just gradually accumulate them. You'll find great stuff. Some of the best stuff I have is from thrift stores, honestly. And then last but not least, I'm hesitant to show you because it's so foul looking, but it's my baking sheet. And I tried to make a nice shiny sheet for you, and it went wrong, and so I had to show you my really old yucky dark one, but it's heavy duty. You want a really nice heavy baking sheet, because baking sheets, when they're thin and cheaply made, they twist in the oven when they get hot, and then because they're twisted, things will cook unevenly. Baking sheets are very useful for like oven roasting vegetables, or taking a big huge squash and cutting it in half and roasting it, or making a pizza, or what did you say? Cookies. Baking bread, you know, if you're making some loaves of like French bread, you know, there are a million things that you can do with a baking sheet. And if I were just starting out, these would be the 4 things I would want to have in my kitchen. I hope you found that helpful, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Thanks. You've got this.